Okay, so let's get started and we'll just go through. It's a brief presentation and then Brianna, if you want to, chime in about anything specific to UDC, um, and then if there's any questions, we can answer them. So welcome. My name's Eileen and I'm the Executive Director of Alpha Lambda Delta. Do you want to introduce yourself, Brianna? Sorry, we can come back. Or do you want us to say a quick hello?
Yes, so I'm Mr. Breon Goldsby Harris. I'm an academic coach here at UDC, and I'll be helping to charter the chapter of Alpha Lambda Delta. And then I'll also be serving as the advisor this year.
Awesome. So as you know from your emails you got, this is a brand new chapter. So we are chartering a new chapter and installing it this spring. We're very excited to have you come into the Alpha Lambda Delta family. And so what we wanted to do is just talk about who we are because it might be new to you. You might not be as familiar with Alpha Lambda Delta. Our mission is here. I won't read it all to you, but we're all about encouraging and motivating and superior academic achievement. So you all did really well your first semester, your first year. Congratulations, not easy to do. And our mission is to help you continue that. We were founded in 100 years ago last year. So we had a couple centennial celebrations last year in 2024. So we're on our 101 years. We're technically have been chartered at over 400 chapters across the country, two internationally. At more active day to day is around 300. We do induct about 22,000 students every year. I'm going to talk a little bit about ACHS, which is the Association of College Honor Societies. That's just to show you that we are legitimate. We meet their standards. We've been a member of ACHS for a long time. In case you were wondering if this was maybe not as legitimate as some other organizations you might have gotten invited to. So again, you were invited because you did receive a minimum 3.5 or higher your first semester, first year. We're going to talk about fees, the fee structure of Alpha Lambda Delta, but the most important thing I think to mention now is that fees are one-time, lifetime. So it's a membership, a lifetime membership, and there's no recurring cost to membership. There's a lot of benefits to joining, which I'll touch on. Great for your resume. It's going to be a cohort or a student organization on your campus. So you'll have the opportunity to do things together. Lots of leadership and career development, skill building, a perks program, honor cords at graduation. We'll talk a little bit about those. At a minimum, everybody gets a certificate and a pin. At an induction ceremony, which Brianne can talk about, that's scheduled already in April, I think. So we'll talk about that. And then, induction ceremonies are really nice events. Hopefully you can even bring family to them. These are just some examples of some of our induction ceremonies. We have big ones, we have small ones, all the way in between. So the next two slides, I really like to focus on what we know to be some of the myths and some of the maybe disbeliefs or misbeliefs, I guess, about Alpha Lambda Delta or about honor societies in general. That maybe it's just not a big deal to celebrate a 3.5 or higher. We think it is. It's not easy to do, so it is important. It's an important milestone, and it is a big deal because it hopefully sets a foundation for you to maintain good academic standing through graduation. You don't get kicked out if your GPA drops below. You're a member for life. You're already eligible because you're invited. You've already met the criteria, so there's no not meeting it in the future. Again, if your GPA drops below, you're still a member. I think you'll find that an Alpha Lambda Delta chapter can help you continue, though. If you do start to struggle, it can be a great resource to help you get back on track. A big myth about joining an honor society is that you might think that it's requiring a lot of time, and it does not. So there are no requirements for involvement in Alpha Lambda Delta. You can do things, as you find time. If your chapter is active on campus, and again, it's a brand new chapter, so but there's a lot of opportunity for you to become a leader in the organization. But even if you don't have time now, you're not going to be required to attend certain things or do a certain number of programs. It's up to the individual chapter. One thing I like to mention about time too is that your time commitments might change. So you might feel like right now you're in a really a space where you just have too much on your plate, a lot going on, you just don't have time to deal with this. That might change for you. So next year your schedule might open up. You might wish you had joined because you see things going on campus when you do have more time in your schedule. So I would just caution you to not make decisions right now for this organization based on time commitments because that could change. Um, Time and money are the two things that we get a lot of questions about. I don't have time for this, and also, why does it cost money at all? Why is there that fee? Where does that money go? What do I get for that money? Very legitimate questions and common questions. Um, so what I do know is that any membership organization you ever get invited to or come across, especially a National Honor Society, will have a fee. That's just inherent in a national organization running across the country. There will be a membership fee. It doesn't make it not legitimate. It really varies in the cost, and Alpha Lambda Delta tries to keep our fee as low as possible. So we are a nonprofit charitable organization. We give out scholarship money. We are not here to make a tons of money off the college student. We're looking to give you as much as we can and more for that $30. So our fee is 30. I believe UDC is 45, right? So our fee is $30 one time lifetime. But every chapter can decide to add on an amount. And I believe UDC chose 15, is that right? I think
Yes.
15.
And so
Yeah.
that'll just be local chapter dues that we will pull in order to either host events or to sort of entice other students to join, and to showcase and highlight our students here at UBC.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. So, as you might know, on your campus, all student organizations have money somehow. I mean, they need money, they use money. That's how you function on your college campus. So that extra 100% of it goes straight to your campus for you to use. For you, it's your money, you use it to run your student organization. So the total fee one time lifetime would be 45, but you keep the 15. So is it worth it to you? I think again, you're a new chapter and the world is open to do whatever you want with that. I hear from a lot of chapters that they'll spend it on, you might have food at your meetings or events or other types of things that you're gonna get as a result of that fee. And so it oftentimes pays for itself. And so it's your, decision to find out or to decide whether it's worth it to you. And again, there's no recurring costs. It's not like you're getting charged the 45 again next year or something. The other common thing we get is I don't know if UDC has social fraternities and sororities. They probably do. So we're often combined with that category just because of obviously our Greek letters in our name, but we are not a social fraternity or sorority. I love fraternities and sororities. I used to be the advisor to them. Um, but we're very different, and it's not considered a social Greek organization. So that means that you can join as many organizations as you want. Like if you join a fraternity or sorority, that's it. You only join one and that's it for life. But with honor societies and service fraternities and business fraternity, other types of Greek letter organizations, you can join as many as you want. You're not restricted to just one. Um, so I talked a little bit about the legitimacy. We do get that questions a lot because you might have gotten invited to 6 other organizations, or you might still in your next 3 years plus get invited to multiple organizations. So I think for us, we just encourage students to be careful and do your research. Just look them up online. There are certain ways you can tell if an organization is legit or not. Obviously, because we're here. Um, but certain things that you can look out for your any other invitation you get is do they even have a website? Are there transparent things on their website? Is there clear criteria for being able to join? Is there an academic criteria? They shouldn't be calling themselves an Amish society if there's not a GPA minimum. Are there chapters around the country? Is there an advisor, a contact person on your campus that you could ask questions of? Is it a nonprofit organization like we are? So things to look at. And then if you do transfer out of UDC, you are a member for life. And if you go to a school that has a chapter of ours, then we just let us know and we'll transfer your record over to the new school. And if you don't have a chapter at the new school, just let us know that and we can add you to our national chapter just to keep you in the loop on any new announcements and things. So lots of benefits. I would just encourage you to go to our website at National ALD. We have a leadership certificate program, lots of scholarships that we offer, a unique program called ALD Perks that will absolutely pay for your um, uh, a membership fee because you can save tons of money, like over $4,000 on different perks and things. And certainly our scholarships, you could win a lot of money. Career development activities. If you ever work for the federal government, share membership means that you're upgraded 2 levels in any position. You'll go from an entry level GS5 to a GS7. Um, Resume building we talked about, service activities. We do host a conference every year. You might have an opportunity free trip to our conference. This one happens to be in your backyard. So this one is in Washington, D.C. this year. So close by. It'd be great to have UDC students involved in this conference that will be hosting students from all over the country at this conference, and we pick a different city around the country every year. And then, of course, lots of involvement opportunities for your campus. And it's not just for your first year. You're being invited based on your first year grades, but you are welcome to be involved in the chapter through graduation and beyond, including we have some senior things that we provide, especially if you've maintained the GPA. You do get special awards, but anybody can wear an honor cord at graduation, which are very popular. If you want to really get a true sense of what we're doing and sort of our vibe, I would suggest you follow us, particularly on Instagram. We're at National ALD. We post a lot of stuff on there. And I am going to pause here. And Brianna, is there anything more you wanted to add? Let me stop sharing, especially for the recording.
So the conference this year is going to be in Washington, D.C. And so I was wondering if you could maybe walk through some of the events that typically happen at a national conference, just to give the students a better idea of how they could participate.
Sure. Yeah. We it's a Friday to Sunday. So students check in. So they're flying pretty much, most school students are gonna be flying in to DC. So we start Friday night with a dinner and then usually a keynote speaker and then an opportunity to network with all the other students from all over the country. So icebreakers and team building activities and games and stuff. A little bit of intro to ALD. It's primarily geared towards the student officers of the organization. So it would be once you have your induction ceremony, then you would identify the student leaders, a handful who would lead the organization. So that's Friday night. Saturday, we have breakout sessions that we focus on 2 areas, 2 themes. One is how best to operate the chapter on your campus. So tips and tricks and ideas and strategies for how to have a good, effective chapter. And then the second theme is personal development, like leadership development, personal, the things that would benefit you personally as a student, not necessarily related to the chapter, but just personal development, public speaking skills, time management skills, communication, leadership development topics. We then give a few hours in the afternoon for the students to go explore the city that we're in. So your students might know already a little bit about DC, but most of the people coming won't have ever been to DC. So they're going to want some free time to go visit, walk the mall and go see the White House and all that. Saturday night is typically a dinner and some more activities and leadership programs, and then Sunday breakfast. Does that help?
Thank
Does
you.
that give a good
Yes.
idea? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good. Good. Okay, have you gotten many questions, Fran, from the invitation emails that have gone out? Are students curious about things or?
Yes, so I've gotten a couple of inquiries just about how the chapter would function on this campus and what are some of the benefits. And so I was able to tell them about some of the enriching opportunities, the scholarships, but I can also tap into some of the benefits that you mentioned here.
Hmm.
And
Great.
I think
Yeah.
that could also pull some student interest.
Great. Okay. And then once I'll just go ahead. Let me just stop recording. What is that?